On-page SEO is very easy, and even it's the most important element of your SEO. But the on-page SEO becomes even more easier when you have a proper on-page SEO checklist to follow. So in today's tutorial, I'm gonna give you a proper and thoroughly tested on-page SEO checklist so you can just follow while optimizing the pages for any website. Maybe it's your own website, it's your client's website, or whatever. But this is the exact on-page SEO checklist that I follow while optimizing my own blog, my own agency website, and even optimizing my own clients' websites. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon so that you get notified instantly for every new tutorial. Also, let me know in the comment section down below which of these on-page SEO elements have you already been using and what is the impact of these elements when you have used on your website. Alright guys, I am Shafi, the founder of Clickdate, which is a well-known SEO agency. So let's get started with the great on-page SEO checklist without further ado. So the first on-page SEO element that we're discussing in this tutorial is to perform a proper keyword research. Now, before you think about setting up a new page on your website, it's important to think about the proper keyword research, and you should know how to do a keyword research. By doing a proper keyword research, you will be able to identify and understand the needs of your potential audience. You will be able to know what your potential audience are searching on the search engines so that you can adjust the content and the purpose of your web page according to their needs. So the second thing that you should include within your on-page SEO checklist is to add semantically or LSI keyword to your keyword list. So now LSI keywords are basically those related keywords which you can add to your keyword list and create additional content, and which will definitely build a context around the purpose of your page. So for example, if your target keyword is dog training, then some semantically related keywords could be how to train a dog, teach your puppy how to sit on command, training tips for dogs. And to find out LSI or semantically related keywords, you can use a tool which is called lsigroup.com, which I personally use for keyword research. So the third point is selecting the right keywords for your content. What do I mean by this point? The keyword research is the foundation stone of your SEO campaign. This is the only thing, if done wrong, all of your SEO campaign will collapse, right? SEO or keyword research is not a job like which you do in the morning and it reflects big in the in the evening. But if you select the keyword today, it's gonna be reflecting after weeks, months, and even years. So now just imagine, for example, if you select the wrong keywords today and after months you will get to know that, oh, I selected the wrong keywords. So this way you will waste your time, money, and effort. So that's why it's important to select proper and the right keywords for your content. Make sure your keywords are relevant to the niche or the product to your business, right? And you have to also consider the search volume of the keywords, the SEO difficulty, and the competition, right? So for this purpose, you may need some tools like Oversuggest, SEMrush, Ahrefs, or whatever the tool you like. But for this, you can use the tools. And if you're looking for some free tools, then Google Keyword Planner is a great starting point, which will give you the search volume as well as the competition as well. So the fourth element is understanding the keyword intent. Look, every keyword or every search phrase has an intent behind this. So for example, if I search how to learn SEO, what is my intent? Of course, I want to learn SEO, right? For example, if I search buy black t-shirt online, what is my intent? My intent is clear. I'm going to buy or purchase black t-shirts online, right? So there are basically four kinds of the keyword intent: the informational, the transactional, the commercial keywords, and the navigational keywords. Now, to elaborate these 4 points further, you may need to visit my blog post. But informational keywords are best for your blog post. Transactional and commercial keywords are great for your sales page, for your product pages, for your product main category pages, subcategory pages, right? Now, after some time, when doing SEO for your website or your client's website, you will be able to automatically identify the keyword intent while doing the keyword research. But if you are new to the SEO, you may need to use some kind of tools like the SEMrush or some other paid tools. The other way to find out the keyword intent is to simply search your target keyword within the Google, and you just need to take a look at the search results and think about those results and identify what kind of content is Google ranking for that specific keyword. And once you are done, then you can create the content accordingly. So the next one we have is to avoid keyword stuffing. Now, what is keyword stuffing? And this is something which you should avoid at any cost. The keyword stuffing is when you use your target keyword over and over again without any additional or further content to support it, right? So Google is smart enough, and if you do keyword stuffing, it's gonna catch you, right? And it may penalize your website as well. So instead, you should maintain a keyword density of up to 3% on your web page. So the next one up is to improve the readability score of your website. Now, what is a readability score? Basically, this is something which improve the user experience and reduces the bounce rate of your web page. Well, now the question is that how you identify the readability score of your content. Now for this, you may use tools like, if you are on WordPress, you can use pretty much any plugin like Yoast SEO plugin, Rank Math SEO plugin to help you identify the readability score of your content. Apart from this, if you are not on WordPress, you may use external tools like Grammarly, which helps you identify the readability score of your content. So the next on-page SEO element that you should keep in mind is to write long-form content. So what is a long-form content? According to SEMrush, a long-form content that is based on 3,000 words performs better as compared to short-form content which is based on 400, 500 or 800 words. So that's why you should write a minimum of 1,000 words long form content. But if you are smart on keyword research, you will be able to add additional keywords to your group, and it will ultimately help you to write long form of content. You need to find out holes within your content, and you need to fill those holes and providing additional information. Maybe you target specific question tags and provide answer to those question tags, which will definitely help you in the wise search and will also help your content to win a chance to rank for featured snippet keyword. So the next one up is to include your target keyword within your title tag. So when creating a new page on your website, make sure that you include your main keyword in the title of the page. This will help search engines know what the content is about and rank it higher on their result page. So the next on-page SEO element that you should pay attention to is to use your target keyword within your web page meta description tag, right? So your web page's meta description and title tags are the two things that users will see in the SERPs when they search for your target keyword. Now guess, will they click on your web page link if their search phrase does not appear in the title and meta tags of your website? Of course not. So make sure to include your primary keyword in both of these places as well. This will help users understand what they are clicking on, and it will also help search engines understand the content and purpose of your web page. So the next one we have is to use headings on your web page. Now you may know there are headings from 1 to 6. These are basically headings that Google uses to identify the content on your web page. In other words, these headings will also help you to break up the content of your web page, right? So make sure you're using headings on your web page, and make sure you're including your target keyword or the variation of your keyword within these headers, like H2 tags, H3, H4, H6, and so on. So the next very important on-page SEO element is that you need to make sure that your web page has an H1 tag one time. Based on my experience when I analyzing the websites of my clients, I have found that most of them, they have used the H1 tag more than one time. For example, I found a client's website who used H1 tag up to 6 times on a single homepage. Now, the H1 tag purpose is to tell the search engine's crawler about the content on your web page. Now guess, if you are using multiple H1 tags on your web page, you're simply gonna confuse the search engine crawlers, and as a result they will rank your web page in the search results. So that's why you should keep in mind that you should provide H1 tag to your web page. It's very important and you cannot compromise on this. And second, you need to make sure that you are using the H1 tag just one time on your web page, and make sure you also include your target keyword within your H1 tag. So the next on-page SEO element is to make sure that you are using your target keyword within the first 100 words. And this is something which I have experienced myself, and it will cost you nothing, but instead you need to test it. So make sure you use your target keyword within the first 100 words of your content and see how it performs. Basically, I have tested lots of web pages and they do great when I use my target keyword within the first 100 words. The next one up is to have a proper system to track your target keywords and the ranking of your web page. After all, you are doing SEO to win top positions in the SERP and bring more organic traffic to your web page. Now think, if you don't have a system to track these target keywords and you don't have any idea of the organic traffic to that specific page, then all of your SEO efforts will go in vain. So that's why you have to track the ranking of your target keywords and the number of organic visitors to your web page. Now for this purpose, you may use the Google Analytics, Google Search Console. These are basically the free tools. Apart from this, you can also use some paid or free tools as well, like Oversuggest, that provides you a free account as well. SEMrush will also provide you a free account and will help you to track a specific number of keywords within their tool. Apart from this, you can also use Ahrefs or whatever the tool you like. So the thing is that you have to track the positions of your target keywords. If they are improving, that's great. If they are not, then it's time to adjust your on-page SEO strategy, or even you may need to build some backlinks as well. So the next one up is to use videos on your web page. Now you may have a question that, Shafi, it's very hard to create content in such a big amount, like creating text-based content, creating video content, visuals, etc. But trust me, once you get started with SEO, with the passage of some time, it's gonna be easier for you to create content for your website, like creating written content, creating videos. But video is something that really increases the engagement on your web page. One way of great on-page SEO is to use video on your web page. You can also use videos on your web page to show what you do and how it's done. Videos are easy to create and they are much more likely to be shared than text-only descriptions, which makes them a great way to build your brand. So the next important on-page SEO element that you should keep in mind is to use images within your content on your web page. Now you may have noticed most of the websites have content that is boring, just like reading a newspaper column. So that's why you have to use infographics related images within your content. In other words, it also helps you break up the content on your web page, and ultimately it increases the engagement and reduces the bounce rate. So the next one we have is to use a proper call to action button. In other words, the CTA. After all, you're creating your web page for a purpose. What is that purpose? And once you identify the purpose of your web page, then you should provide a call to action button to your visitors as well. And make sure it's visible, and make sure it's at the top of your content, and so that users don't have to look for it, right? So that's why your city should be very clear, prominent, and easy to find out on your web page. So the next thing we have is to focus on good user experience. Now, what is a good user experience? With all the focus on search engine optimization, it's easy to forget that your website is here for people. It's not just a place where they can find information. It's also supposed to be an enjoyable experience. If users have trouble finding what they are looking for, or if there are too many ads and distractions on the page, they will leave quickly and never come back. This means that you need to make a user-centric approach when designing your site and writing content for it. Otherwise, if you do not improve the user experience of your website, your bounce rate is going to be high. And if your your bounce rate is going to higher day by day, then this is a ranking factor and Google is going to push down your page. So the next one we have is to use schema markup, or don't sleep on schema markup. So what is schema markup? Schema markup is a way to describe the content on your site in a standardized format so that search engines can better understand what they are looking at. This means that if you have products, people, or locations on your page, search engines will be able to recognize them as such and display that information in their results. There are a few different types of schema: microdata, rich snippets, and JSON LD. You should choose the one that best fits your site's needs. If your page is based on, if your website is based on CMS like WordPress, then you can use pretty much any plugin to help you generate schemas for your website. I personally use RankMate SEO plugin for this purpose. So the next one we have is to avoid keyword cannibalization. So what is the keyword cannibalization? Basically, keyword cannibalization is when there is more than one page on your site that contains the same keyword, your target keyword. This can confuse search engines, and they will not know which page they should rank in the search. So to avoid keyword cannibalization, you will need to create unique pages for your website, and make sure the page you are creating at the moment is unique and there is no duplicate or another page for the same target keyword on your website. Alright, so the next one we have is to try optimizing for featured snippets. Now you may have a question that what are featured snippets? Well, featured snippets are a special type of search result that shows up when you search for specific query. They are often displayed as bold, highlighted text with a description underneath. In some cases, they will even show up in their box on the page above organic results. Now the next question you may have is that how you can optimize for featured snippets. Well, there are some tips you can follow. The first one is to focus on your primary keyword when writing the content. Write a great answer to the search query. Use structured data markup. Make sure your page is mobile responsive. Add a header to your answer. Make sure the headline is relevant and ensure you have high quality internal link. Alright guys, so the next one we have is to optimize your web page images with alt tags. Now the question is, what is an alt tag? So alt text is basically the text that is displayed when an image is not loaded. It also describes the image to visually impaired users who use screen readers and can be used as a substitute for the actual image. When optimizing images for SEO, you must include alt text on each one. And alt text serves two important purposes. The first one, it provides a brief description of what your image contains and why it's relevant to your content. For example, if you have an infographic that gives tips on how to improve your search rankings, then using search engine optimization as your alt tag will help Google understand the association between those words and your infographic topic. And second one, an alt text can also be used for screen readers for visually impaired users who don't see images properly or at all. So the next one we have is to focus on mobile voice search. So as you can see, mobile voice search is increasing day by day, and now more and more people are searching in mobile through voice instead of properly typing within their mobile phones. And that's why it's very important that your web page is ranking against those specific words spoken by users on mobile. So now the question is how you can optimize your web page for voice search. Well, based on my experience, long tail keywords are great starting point for optimizing for mobile voice search, as these long tail keywords are most of the time contains question tags. So if you try to answer the question on your web page, then there is a big chance that your web page may rank against those specific words spoken by people on mobile. So the next one we have is to add internal links to your web page. Now, what are internal links? Basically, internal links are the links that go from one page on your website to another, and they are important for two reasons. First, they help users navigate your site, and second, they help search engines crawl and find new pages on your website. And most importantly, internal linking is also beneficial for creating topical authority. So the next one we have is adding external links to your content. When you write content for your web page, it's very important that you should pay attention to external linking as well. Make sure you're linking to external sites wherever it makes sense within your content. But one thing you should keep in mind that you should never link to those external sites that have high spam score, right? In addition to this, external links will also help your users find additional information on specific topic you're talking about on your web page. So the next one we have is to optimize your URL of your web page with your target keyword. Now, how you can optimize or how you can add your target keyword to your URL, right? When writing URLs for your website, make sure that you include a relevant keyword as part of the URL. This will help search engines crawlers understand what content is on your page and also let visitors know what to expect when they visit it. For example, if you're writing an article about a specific topic like best social media marketing tips, then it's important to make sure that your URL includes this phrase. For example, examplewebsite.com/best social media marketing tips. So the next one we have is to use social media sharing buttons on your web page. Now, it does not need any further elaboration, but the purpose of using social media sharing button on your web page helps you, increase the engagement on your content. More and more people will share your content on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. And ultimately, it will help your on-page SEO or increase its ranking and traffic as well. Alright guys, so the next one we have is to improve the loading speed of your web page. Now, if your website takes more than 3 seconds to load, you are losing visitors. Page loading speed is a strong ranking factor in Google's search algorithm. The faster your site loads, the higher it will rank in the search results. The slow page loading speed can negatively impact your organic traffic. The faster your site loads, the better the experience for visitors and the higher it will rank in the search results. So the next one we have is that your page should be responsive and it should be focused on mobile first indexing. Google will use the mobile version of a page to index it to understand the structured data such as menus and local businesses information, and to show snippets in the search results. If you have already made your site responsive, this will not change anything for you. However, if you have not yet made your site responsive or only have a desktop version of your site, it's time to get on board with mobile first indexing. So the next one we have is to use comment or review section on your web page. Now, basically, these are very important when you're building up your web page. Reviews will help your website or your business build trust between your business and your audience. And comment section will provide your visitors to communicate with your business. So as you may know, most of people will comment on your content or on your article. This way you will be able to know further about their needs, about their specific questions, and next time you will be able to create another blog post or specific content for those questions of your audience. That's it. So I hope this has been a super helpful tutorial, and I hope you have learned something from today's tutorial. And did I miss something on this on-page SEO checklist? If so, please let me know in the comment section so that I can cover that point in my next tutorial as well. And also, you must let me know which of these on-page SEO elements have you already been using on your website and what is the result. So once again, if you have not yet subscribed the channel, be sure to subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on important tutorials next time.